So if you guys are new to skating, then I bet skate parks can seem a little bit scary. I said that kind of weird because I've messed it up like 10 times. I can't really speak in the morning. Skate parks can seem a little bit scary if you're new to skating. Ho, 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 ho. There's a lot to do and you might not know what to try. So in this video I'm going to show you guys 5 tricks and kind of just things around the skate park that you can try that will give you guys a little bit more to do even if you're a beginner and it's your first time at the skate park. There's also going to be a giveaway for a kendama at the end of this video, so if you want to find out how to win it, just watch the video until the end. One of the comments I get quite a lot is a lot of you guys say that you're too nervous to come to a skate park because you just started skating. You don't know any tricks and you just kind of don't want to get in people's way. But the skate park, even if you're just starting skateboarding for the first day, is honestly the perfect place to come. There might be a couple of good people at the skate park who've been skating for years, but chances are there's going to be a lot of people that are just like you, who just started and don't really know what to do either. So even if you're a total beginner, coming to the skate park on your first day of skating is completely fine. Just try to be like a little bit careful and not get in people's way, or they're not gonna like you. You want to avoid sitting on quarters or on ledges, just sitting on things that people might be skating. Usually you want to stand at like the top of a quarter, top of a bank, or just like at the side of the skate park, or somewhere on like a big open bit of flat ground. But if you happen to wake up at 6 AM most mornings and you can come down to an empty skate park like this, then it's free game, you got it all to yourself and you're gonna have a good time. So for trick number 1, I'm just going to start off with a drop in because that's probably the most useful thing you can learn at a skate park, because here there's ramps. Would you look at that? Now when I say drop in, don't be scared. I don't mean go to the biggest quarter in your skate park, put your board down and just try go for it. That's just gonna get you hurt and you're gonna have a bad time. The cool thing about a drop in is you can learn it gradually. You can learn it on the smallest things at the skate park before you need to actually do it on a real quarter. Find a really mellow bank like this, which angle is not much different than just like the flat ground itself. First you want to practice by putting your back foot on your tail, and then your front foot just goes about here right at the bolts. When you're dropping in, you want to lean into it and then ride down it as if it's just flat ground. Because when you're riding down something at the skate park, you don't always stay at this angle. You're gonna kind of lean like this. So you want to do the same thing when you're dropping in. Slide your tail up to the edge and then lean into the ramp. Now obviously this is very small and it doesn't really feel like you're doing anything, but you want to get used to that feeling, get comfortable with it, and then you can take it onto bigger things. Like this is a little bit steeper. Build it up and then drop in. And then once you're feeling ballsy enough, you can come up to the smallest quarter you can find. This one's still kind of mellow, pretty small and not too scary. And then one of the biggest piece of advice, when you're in this position with your tail on the edge of it, don't kind of stay there for ages. Trust me, fully just committing to it straight away is going to be a lot quicker and a lot easier for you. Just go for it. And then same as the banks, once you've dropped in on something kind of small, take it up to something bigger, then do that. Trick number 2 is a frontside and backside 180, and they both look like this. I do them both so different. I always pop my frontside 180s all the way around, but then my back 180s, I always slide them so much. And all you need to be able to do before learning how to 180 is learn how to ollie, which if you guys can't ollie, you can go check out my ollie tutorial, which is linked in the description. You also want to try learn this trick whilst moving because you're going to be doing it while moving anyway. Doing a 180 while standing completely still is a little bit pointless because you're not going to be rolling anywhere. So you want to stand like this on your board with your back foot kind of in the same position as an ollie. I would say the front foot is kind of in the same position as well, just on the board, very steady, nowhere near being off to the side like this in kind of like a kickflip position, or you're probably going to start flipping your board when you try 180. Sometimes I go a little bit up on my toes, kind of in the middle of the board if I want a 180 a little bit higher though, so take that into consideration. And then what you want to do is you want to pop your board same as an ollie, but then start turning your shoulders, and at the same time kind of lifting your front foot like this, and then your back foot forward like that. The main thing about any 180 trick is that it's all in the shoulders. If you don't try to turn them as you're popping your board and doing the trick, then your board's just not going to come with you. This trick's kind of all about timing and feeling it out for yourself, so you kind of got to try it. You can't really just learn from me explaining it. But one of the things that can help, if you find that your board doesn't do like a full 180 and then you get kind of stuck like here and you need to jump off your board, to make it a little bit easier and make it round, if you kind of come up a little bit short, you can land with your front foot on the nose, and then you can just kind of finish off that little extra rotation as like a little nollie revert. so you can pop onto your nose and then bring the board round. Now to go backside, you got to turn your body the other way. So you're going to pop your board and then you're going to start leading the board that way with your front foot, and then also kind of bringing it back with your back foot as well. And as you're kind of leaning into the trick, I always wind up a little bit. So I'll have my body like this and then I'll start turning before I've even popped my board. So when you do pop your board, it's kind of going to automatically start turning on its own. And then your feet just kind of help it out and then get the board around. And for the back 180, when I land it, I always come up a little bit short, so I slide my back foot out to roll away. Another thing, if you're struggling to do it on the flat ground, you can try learn it on something like a hip. And usually you don't really need to do like a full 180 to still roll away fakie. Sometimes even just like a 90-degree ollie and you'll still be fine to just roll away. And then you can come back to the flat ground and then relearn it on there. The next trick is to try doing nollies over things at the skate park. Might seem a little bit difficult, but trust me, it's really fun and it's not too hard at all. And all it is just like a little pop on your board when you're riding over something with your foot on the nose. You ride up to something and then pop your nose, it's going to kind of put your board into this angle, which is probably going to be the angle of whatever you're landing into. So as soon as you pop your nose, you don't really need to do anything else with your board, you just got to land on it. They take a little bit of practice, but if you keep doing them, the pop will get stronger and stronger and you'll be able to do them way better. Try it out, see if you have fun with it. Trick number 4 is a no-comply impossible. I'm kind of bad at doing them on flat ground again, but I'll try doing. I'm much better at doing it on things because you can pop the board so much nicer on it. To learn this trick, you can kind of do it from standing completely still. Try kick your board and then wrap your back foot around it. Like that. It's a little bit like a strawberry milkshake. I hate saying that name, but it's a little bit like that if you guys can do that. I can't do it, and look at my feet, it's so awkward. This is one of the first tricks I learned, but I don't think I can even do it anymore. There we go. Anyway, it's a little bit like that, but you gotta pop your board and kind of get a little bit of air on it. It doesn't just drag across the ground. So you want to get used to doing that. When you kind of lean like this on your board, it wants to ping that way anyway. And then you just kind of want to hop a little bit with your body, but not jump off of it, and then pop your tail as hard as you can. As soon as that left foot is on the ground to kind of stand on. It's probably going to look a lot like that in the beginning, but keep practicing it and then keep trying to get that wrap quicker as soon as you pop. And then it should start to progressively look a little bit more like an impossible. And also, as you're wrapping your foot around the board, you kind of want to lift it up once the board turns upside down, which is going to bring it up higher, and it's going to stop the front of the board from hitting the ground. The same exact rule applies for a normal impossible if you guys are trying to learn them. You gotta try to lift the board up at the same time as you pop it to give it some height. Personally, I find it's a lot easier on something else. So find like a mellow hip or a kicker and then try it out with that. I hope you guys were able to learn that one because that is such a fun trick. If there's anything about it that you struggle on, let me know down in the comments. And also anything about any other trick in this video while you're down there. And then the last trick on the list is a feeble stall on a quarter pipe. It's kind of like coming up and doing a 50-50 stall, but it's only really half of it. There's really not that much to doing a feeble. I would say the only things you need to be able to do is a drop in and then also a kick turn on a quarter. As long as you follow the steps from the first trick on the list, and you should be fine. As you're riding up the quarter, you just want to kind of lean your back truck on it a little bit. So if this line down here was the coping, this is a 50-50, you want to just kind of push your foot and angle your toe kind of that way. One of the things I do when I do a feeble is I lock into it by kind of sliding my back foot up onto the coping. So as I ride up the ramp and I'm starting to turn a little bit, I'll slide my back foot and then lock into the feeble. And then kind of rest the deck on the coping like that. And then once you're locked into it and you're ready to come out, you just kick turn back into the ramp and then ride down and try not to fall. Let me know down in the comments if you guys found this trick list helpful, and if there's anything I missed out, please let me know and I'll try to help you guys out down there. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it or learned any trick from this video. And then also for the kendama, I'm gonna randomly pick one of the comments down below, so if you guys want to also put your Instagram in that, I'll send you guys a DM and then I'll send you a kendama. And this kendama is also pretty sick, so if you guys want to get into kendama, this is a good one to start with.
Imagine if your whole body was made of lip skin.
Oh, fucking dick! Oh! Oh, that is so bad.